Reviewing FCs, ESCs and stacks is nothing easy. Normally, because there are many different ones, they are doing their job, they are kind of similar in many aspects, and I think it comes down a lot to what's available and what's in good price, because prices are going skyrocket these days. So today I'm going to show you a new card, a new stack from Speedybee that I got to review. I think it's pretty interesting, and I'm going to show you a few points why I'm thinking like this. But first, let's give a few seconds to my sponsor. For as little as $5, you can get up to 10 printed circuit boards for your special projects. You just need to partner with the right company. PCB Way helps you bring those ideas into reality by giving you the chance to manufacture your circuit boards in a professional manner for a very affordable price and pretty quickly. Go and check them out. They offer many services, they collaborate with the open source community, and your first order is almost for free. Speedybee got very famous because they did this app that connected wirelessly using Bluetooth to some flight controllers, and they could configure everything that you do normally with Betafly. You could do it directly from your phone. But now they are getting into creating flight controllers, creating full stacks and selling it, of course, together with that wireless functionality that we are used to from them. This one is not different than that. This stack that I have here is a F405, and I would call it to be on the budget area of stacks. But even though it's a budget stack, it has many features. Let me start by talking about something that for many is not very important. It's the boxing. Yeah, you most probably are gonna get the box and the cards and the instructions and everything inside here and throw it away on the trash. But anyway, I think when you are buying something with your precious money and you receive something that is nice, it's in a little box, you open and you see a nice card with information, and the way that it's packed and the way that everything is inside, it's pretty good. So it's a nice surprise, it's something added. It's something that, again, is not super important for the way that your drone is gonna fly or anything else, but we start here, and I think Speedybee has done a good job with how they pack their product. This is a F405 Stack, and there will be a lot of people saying, hey, these days F7 is what's best and we should be buying all F7 stacks or flight controllers. But when you look at the price of those F7 flight controllers, they're going $100 up. And if you find one F405 like this one, which has a lot of good features and it's just under the $70 range in the US, then you start thinking twice. This can do everything that the F7 can do. Some people even say that this one is more future-proof than an F7, and it's much cheaper. We're talking about $30, $40, and even $50 cheaper than an F7 stack. Let's mention some of the main things of this one. I like the fact that these cards, despite being an F4, has a USB-C connection to control it, to connect it to your computer and use Betafly. I don't understand why this time, 2022, there's still manufacturers using micro USB to have on the fly controllers. I can't believe that there should be a big difference on price or anything like that. And it's much better to have USB-C. You go anyway, it's okay to connect. You use only one cable, you don't have to think much about it. So manufacturers, come on, please stop using micro USB. This card, even though it's a budget card, it has a barometer, which tells you the altitude of your drone, reading it directly without having to have a GPS or something like that. Normally, even the barometer is more precise than a GPS reading for altitude. So a lot of people likes to have that information. You can have it on your OSD, you can see where your drone is flying, and you can keep the right altitude to not break any rule or anything like that. And this card has one of those ones. Number 3, it has 4 free Uarts. Again, it's not a huge number. I've seen boards with 6 and even more than that. But remember, $70 for free Uarts. That's good. For me, it's good enough. This car also supports up to 8 motors. I normally don't do anything more than 4 motors. Like I'm flying these kind of drones, regular 4-motor drones, but if you are in a project where you need 8 motors or you need 6 or anything like that, you are covered with this, with the ESC that you have on this stack. Then we come to number 5, which is it has connections, plugs directly to use LEDs. There is some kind of fashion lately with LEDs, and a lot of people love to have colors and lights and things on your drone. I'm not into that, to be completely honest, but if you are, which is not a problem at all, then you also are covered by this card and having installation points for your LEDs simple and nicely. Number 6 is one of the most important for me, and it's the fact that you have a BEC for 9 volts and of course a BEC for 5 volts. The 9 volts is the one that is much more important for me than anything else, because I use that one to feed my VTXs, either if it's a Vista or if it's a walk snail or even in analog. The 9 volt BEC does that you receive clean and stable voltage to your VTX, and that makes it more safer to have it there. Like if, for example, you have been reading about walk snail, it seems like there is some kind of problem with connecting it to VBAT when you are on a 6S battery. So in this case, if you have a 9 volt, you connect it there, you're going to be safe. It doesn't matter what battery you have. It doesn't matter if the battery is a little bit extra charge or if you get a peak or anything like that. You're covered. You are safe with your VTX. It doesn't matter if you have an air unit, a Vista, a walk snail or anything else. For me, this is kind of like a mandatory feature these days for any stack or flight controller that I buy. Then we go to number 6, and it's a feature that for this specific car they are promoting it a lot. Speedybee wants to make sure that you know that with this car you can use an SD memory to put in and record your black box for much longer than what normally you get with any other kind of flight controller. Having a memory slot for your SD card is going to allow you to record a lot of information. If, for example, you are flying and you need the gyro information to stabilize your video, or if you're trying to tune your drone and you need to do many movements and many flights to try to get a lot of good data. That's perfect with this one because you have that slot. And again, this is a feature that you normally don't find on budget controllers, because they're trying to go with the minimum to give you the best price that they want or they can. Now you have this possibility in this one, and still they keep the price pretty low. Of course, a main feature of the board, if it's a Speedybee board, has to be that it supports the Speedybee app. And this one is not stranger to that. You have the chance to open your app on your Android phone or an iPhone phone and control your drone in the field just by connecting the battery and connecting your phone to the flight controller wirelessly. And last but not least, the pads, the soldering pads are good, are easy to find, easy to work with. I'm getting old, my sight is not the same, my hands are not stable as before, so I'm very, very grateful when I find these nice boards with big pads, and that you don't have these small pads in between components that when you are trying to solder, you're very scared because you're gonna put your iron into one chip or something like that. Here you have a space, you have enough to work with, and that's something that I really like from this board as well. One thing that I'm missing though is the fact that you don't have a lot of LEDs for status on this board. You have 3. You have power, you have wireless, and you have one that is called FC, flight controller. I like the way that Diaton and some other manufacturers are doing where they're giving you an LED for many different things. Like if your card has 9 volts pad, then you get an LED for the 9 volts and you know that it's working. The same for 5 volts and these kind of things. Here I'm kind of missing those things, but so far it's kind of the only thing that I can say negative about this stack that I have here. I've been flying it for a while, for a few weeks, and so far so good. I think one other thing that is very important when you are reviewing or thinking about a flight controller and a stack is how durable they are. But durability is something that you're gonna know after people start using it and they start crashing a lot and they start flying and having many hours flying with that component to see how good they act. I have soft crashed a couple of times. The stack is still alive, and I can't say if the card is or the boards are very durable or not. So far, for me, nothing bad has happened, and I'm thinking that it could be a durable stack that I have here. If you are in the market for an inexpensive stack, this could be something to have a look at. I mentioned a few points that I'm very happy with. It's, again, $70 is a good price for a stack these days, and why not trying? This is all that I have for you today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.